Damien of MUPHART here. I want to talk about the face detection errors some more that were happening when I was investigating the night sky out this window in our last mega UFO watch that was unfortunately canned due to files being accidentally deleted on my computer, video files. While I was panning at a light out that window, a street light, face detection was detecting it as a face, over and over and over and over and over again. And it freaked me out when I first started noticing it. Because I figured out by trial and error that if you panned at the light really quickly, it would show up as a face every once in a while, but not all the time. And you had to do it at a weird angle to kind of guarantee it. You couldn't do it at a straight angle, you had to kind of do it at a diagonal type angle, like pretend my face is the light. If you tried to pan towards my face like this, it would not go off. But if you did it at like an angle like this, it would work. It was strange, alright? When I was panning at the light at an angle, I was getting face detection going off every great once in a while. And this reminded me of something else that happened on another mega UFO watch during the summer, when there was a tree which had a rudimentarily shaped face-like appearance. Kind of resembled a face. And face detection kept detecting it as a face as I panned towards the tree. And I could see later on it looked just like a face. But this light looked nothing like a face. So I'm curious why it was happening. So I've come up with a theory that explains it better than my first theory, which didn't make much sense. My first theory said that I was detecting a ghost, which doesn't make sense at all. It just doesn't add up because for a ghost to manipulate face detection to make it detect that area as a face over and over again, it doesn't. It just doesn't work that way in a camera. A camera's face detection is in the firmware on a chip. A ghost couldn't modify it very easily to do it. It's already been programmed to do it a certain way, so you'd have to rewrite the programming. That sounds completely crazy. So instead, what I discovered about face detection on this camera has led me to believe that it's not very trustworthy. In fact, if you aim at some of the pictures I have down here, only one of those pictures sets off face detection when you aim at it, and that's a picture of me from high school. All the other ones don't. And the fact that something that resembles a face but wasn't a face, that tree, set it off, proved to me that it's not very trustworthy at all. So I'm thinking what was happening is that face detection was just screwing up, and the algorithm was somehow detecting that light as a face, but I'm not sure exactly why, because I don't know how the algorithm works, honestly. But I'm guessing it was looking for a feature that all faces have, like an eye or a nose. And anything that resembles an eye or a nose would set off the face detection. So it could detect a face that was partially blocked, for instance. So you only have like one eye visible, it would still detect it as a face, which you'd want to do. In that case, it would make things that aren't faces look like faces and set off face detection. So I'm thinking it's just, the algorithm is just really bad. Half the time it doesn't detect a real face. It's not detecting my face right now while I'm filming. It only detects my face in a photo. It doesn't detect my parents' faces at all. I just think it's just a badly coded face detection system that's just happened to show off how bad it was coded during that last mega UFO watch while I was panning at a light and it just kept saying it was a face. So that's what I think now. I don't think there's anything unusual about it, but it freaked me out because I thought there was someone out there and it was detecting a person, and I didn't want to be filming out the window while there was a person there. But since it was detecting the face from a light, it's not the case. So I'm not so freaked out about that, but still, very weird occurrence that night, you know?